Number two, for her looks, her beauty. That's number two, her beauty. Prophet Muhammad did not say, go and look. He said first, لِمَا لَهَا. Had it been لِمَا لِهَا, it wouldn't have been number one. Because there are many attributes that you cannot, in the hadith of Rasulullah say, if she knows how to sew, if she knows how to cook, if she knows how to this, blah, 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 blah. You can't. Because a woman, believe me, I tell you, the job of a woman, okay, but please don't tell anybody, is 10-fold more complicated than the job of a man. Because she ends up being the one to raise the children 9 times out of 10. We just go, we can mess it up outside the house. But when we come at the end of the day, we expect the mother and the wife, and even after a long day of very difficult work, we expect her to be relaxed and to be, and isn't that the expectation? Don't lie. Yes, this is the expectation. But this is wrong. Okay? But we are human beings, and that's why we need to know how to deal with those difficulties. Many of us fail. We fail. We have certain abilities, but we need to train ourselves. And some of us will keep on training until we die and we can't really improve.
Why do we fail?
Why do we fail? Because, people fail because they try, but for some reason, they're unable to do that job because it's too difficult for them. Right? So, beauty. We're still talking about choosing a wife. Okay? Beauty. Because the hadith of Rasulullah, he did say, you want to marry someone, one of his sahabis, one of his companions came to him and he said, I just got married. He said, did you look at her? He said, no. Did you see her? No. He said, shouldn't you have looked at her? Look at Islam. Shouldn't you have looked at her and chosen someone who is a young woman who would please you when you would look at her, when she will talk, you will enjoy her speech? And now, some people understand that as being discrimination against other women. By the way, do you know that saying that says beauty is in the eye of the beholder? Wallahi. And I don't need to swear by Allah or anything. There are people who look at another person and to them that person is the essence of beauty. When others will see that person say, what? It's because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes beauty is relative. Some people say, I want someone who has blue eyes, blonde hair. Some people say, oh my God, no way. Others say, I want someone who has a thin face with a very pointed nose and eyes that are slanted and a forehead that has. Others say, what are you talking about? There are people in the past, I remember my grandmother used to say, no, you want someone, I still, please forgive me, to use, واحدة معجعجي. Let me explain what's معجعجي. My grandmother, I was a little child, I didn't understand what she meant. But she meant, a good, beautiful wife is someone who has a body, who's big. chubby. Chubby. That's the definition of معشعشي. But you know, you want to marry somebody who is جلدي وعظمي, as she said. You know جلدي وعظمي? You want to marry somebody who is only made of bone and skin? You want muscles. You want this. You want that. You
need a wrestler.
A wrestler. A sumo wrestler. Not a sumo wrestler, no. See, I wanted to say it as is, because so that we know that beauty is something that is relative. And that is why when Rasulullah ﷺ said that shouldn't you seek someone that will please you, not that is beautiful. He didn't say beautiful, he said that will please you. That will please you. So what will please you may not please him, which is normal, which is not discriminatory at all. At all. Number 3, you should seek someone who is from a good family, by good family, by the way, you should seek somebody from a family that is I'm looking for the word, help me please.
Respect.
No, this is not what I'm, when two families match, what's the word from compatible. From a compatible family. And the compatibility is very important, because if the two families are not compatible, and marriage in Islam is marriage of families, you don't just get married and then goodbye, we'll see you next Eid. This is not. Now if physically you are removed to work in a different country or a different city, it's a different story. But Islam does not say get married and leave, as many cultures dictate today, that go and get married and you're on your own now. Even the parents will say, what's wrong with you? You're coming to us too much. Leave us alone. That's the expectation. And even, look at this, even there are parents, when their daughters reach 18, casually, I heard it from people who worked with me, she's still at home. She's still at home. Yeah? You know, there are young men in our culture who are 27 years old, they are not married and they're still living at home. And even, you know, their father would support them, not that it's good, no. But families in Islam are like this. Why? Because when you build them properly, it's a strong structure. It's close-knit family. Therefore, you need compatible families. You need families that will even make the structure stronger. The families where there will be no room for the wife says, we visited your parents yesterday, and today you've got to come to my parents. So it's a way to start fighting. Compatibility will bring the two families together. But that doesn't mean that if there is now disagreement between the families, that the two families are not compatible, because I will talk later on about the things that will start to threaten compatibility. The two families are compatible. They are indeed. They are. But there are other things. It's like a structure which has the best material in it. But if you don't maintain it, and if you allow environmental threats to attack it and you don't do anything about it, it will weaken that structure. Therefore, you need other things that will... Now I'm starting with generalities. So you need two families to be compatible. You need, again, look at this. Look at this. There are certain genes, certain illnesses. I know in the basin of the Mediterranean Sea, there is a common gene called thalassemia minor. that gene in one copy by itself manifests itself in low hemoglobin. The person feels tired, nothing. But it's common, it's a gene that is common. So when you want to seek a marriage partner, and if both are from the basin of the Mediterranean, it is advisable, according to Islam, to test both of them for that gene. If they both have it, don't get married. Because you are asking that half of your children will have thalassemia major. Thalassemia major is a debilitating disease. The children will be, will be disabled. And it is not, oh, but I love that person. There are other things. That's why we're saying, what are the things? At the end of the day, you collect the data and you go home and you process them. You process the data. You want to marry somebody, it's not that, oh, she looks beautiful. Do your homework. Be a man, as they say. I don't mean by a man as a macho man. No, be a person who knows what the future is holding for you. Or is doing his work to plan for a bright future. Like today, teenagers who just go and they start smoking and drugs and dating and. By the time they are 25, 26, they want to correct, but it's too late. Why did you destroy yourself now? And that's why they go to institutions, Alcoholic Anonymous and other institutions, just to help. Maybe they can be cured, maybe not. Therefore, we need to make sure that when we choose a family, we choose the right family. You're collecting data now. You want to choose a family that, from the other side, that really is close-knit. You are told that this girl that you want to marry is so attached to her parents. This is not a minus, it's a plus. Because if she is so attached, she is loyal, she is, it means that she will teach the children to be the same, which is a good quality. It will keep the family strong. Some people say, I don't want to marry such a person who will always be snug to her parents, and you don't know. You should plan for the future. It's a good quality. You should also, look at a family and see, is there a history for that family of maybe gaining from haram sources, or they do not really pay attention much. What's the time now?
12:26.
Okay, so we have to wrap it up. So you have to really look at as much about that family as possible. That's why in the Arabic culture, I know probably in the Pakistani culture, we say, بدنا نسأل عنه, أو بدنا نسأل عنه. We need to ask about the family. So we call people overseas, we call people who know the family, tell us what do you know about them, what. You have to ask.